Okay, let's get into it. You see that breaking news event on TV, right? The camera's rolling, the picture is perfect.
Hmm.
But you have to wonder, how does that live HD video get from, the middle of nowhere up to a satellite and then back down to your screen?
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. We're doing a deep dive into this one really crucial piece of hardware. It's the Thor Broadcast H-1HDMI-DVBS2 encoder modulator.
A bit of a mouthful.
It is, but our mission here is to give you the cheat sheet. This isn't just some box. This is the workhorse built for those digital satellite news gathering trucks.
The DSNG trucks.
The DSNG trucks are those fly pack enclosures you see in really remote locations. It's what gets the signal ready for orbit.
So it's doing more than one job then. I'm looking at the specs and I see it's a combination encoder, modulator, and an ASI mux. That sounds like it's packing a ton of tech into one box.
It is. It's an all-in-one. And that ASI mux part is, well, you can think of it like a digital traffic cop.
A traffic cop. Okay, how so?
It lets you take your main video feed, the HDMI one, which can be 1080p, 720p, anything up to 60 frames a second.
Right.
And you can mix in other things. You can use that separate ASI input to add, say, another program or data.
So things like closed captions or on-screen graphics.
Precisely. You bundle it all together into one clean program stream that's ready to go.
Got it. And to send that stream, you've got to compress it, right? I mean, satellite time is not cheap. It says here it supports both MPEG-2 and H.264 codecs.
Yeah, and that's a huge deal.
Why both? Isn't H.264 the standard now?
It is, but that flexibility is absolutely essential out in the field. Some satellite providers or, older receiving stations might still require that legacy MPEG-2 codec.
Ah, so it's for backwards compatibility.
That's a big part of it. But it also comes down to money. See that bit rate? It goes from a tiny 0.5 all the way up to 19.5 megabits per second.
Wow, that's a huge range.
It is. And that's your trade-off dial. You can crank the quality up for a premium broadcast, or if you need to save on bandwidth costs, you dial it down. That's why this gear is professional grade and why it has a professional price tag of around $6,500.
That makes perfect sense. But once the signal is all packed up and ready, you have to make sure no one else can just steal your exclusive footage from the sky.
Security is vital.
How does that work?
They rely on the BSS encryption standard.
BS.
Yeah, BISS. The best way to think of it is like a secret handshake. The box puts a password on the signal.
A pre-shared key, it says.
Exactly. And if the receiver on the other end doesn't have that exact same key, the feed is just digital garbage. It protects the multi-million-dollar scoop.
And when you're out there, maybe in a storm, trying to get a signal up, I imagine you need to control this thing fast.
You do, and they give you two ways to do it. You've got the full front panel with the keyboard and LCD.
For when you're standing right there in a panic?
Right. Or the much more common way, once you're set up, is through a standard web browser on a laptop. Just type in the IP address.
Okay, that's straightforward. Now, I saw one detail in here that I found really fascinating. Something about power. Can this encoder actually power the dish itself?
It can, which is a huge deal in the field. It can send 24-volt DC power right up the same coax cable that's carrying the signal out.
So one less cable to run in the rain.
One less cable, one less power supply to worry about. It powers the LNB on the antenna. It's a lifesaver.
So when you boil it all down for everyone listening, this Thor box is really the heart of the operation. It's what turns that raw camera feed into a secure signal that's literally ready for space.
It really is. It's the linchpin. And it sort of makes you think about the bigger picture here.
Go on.
Well, just think about what it takes to do this. You need a dedicated truck. You need this, $6,000 physical box. You need specialized people just to go live via satellite.
But a massive logistical chain.
It is. The question for you to mull over is this. How much faster, cheaper, and more reliable does purely IP-based streaming, just over the internet, have to become before this entire dedicated DSNG workflow becomes obsolete? The very existence of this gear shows you how high that bar really is.